Do you know that the rarest butterfly in the world is the South American cabbage black? And not only is it the rarest, but also the most dangerous. Do you know that in 1496, after years of work, Leonardo da Vinci at last managed to emulate a bird?
Good evening. Hello. And welcome back to Broaden Your Mind.
The adult encyclopedia of the act.
Yes.
I say, this is a rather nicely designed thing, isn't it?
Yes, you like it, do you? As a matter of fact, I designed that bit myself.
Did you, Four Eyes? Well, I designed that bit.
Yes. Worked quite well there, don't you?
I like it, I
Yes.
like it, yes.
Anyway, in tonight's program, we'll be presenting items on science and...
And we'll be taking a look at archaeology, among other things.
Among other things, yes. But first of all, we'll be asking the question, how do we get down off here?
I don't know.
As in the past, our aim is to present information, ideas, facts, like...
How the hell do we get down off here?
How the hell do we get down off here? Well, our first idea tonight will be to jump.
Jump? You're joking.
Yes, to jump. Like this.
All right. Oh, well, the obvious answer to this question is to jump.
But of course, the important thing is to jump properly.
Well, one of the subjects we'll be taking a look at a little later in the program will be first aid. But let's start with the magical world of archaeology.
Horizontal line and a falcon. By George, I think I got it. Why, what does it say, Prof? It says wet paint.
Archaeology. If you were to ask the average man in the street, what's a Greek urn, he would probably ignorantly reply about 30 bob a week. To an archaeologist, this is a serious question, and he would say about 40 bob a week. So much for Greek urns. Archaeological sites can be found in the most unpromising of places. A mound of earth, a modern office block, and Mrs. E. Pewsley of Dagenham. Sir Bernard Masters, I believe you can date a civilization that is buried underground.
Yes, I can. I have here the layers of the earth, rather like a sandwich, you see. The Pleistocene, Pliocene, Miocene, Oligocene, cheese and chutney, Eocene, and...
Cheese and chutney?
Oh, did I say cheese and chutney? I'm terribly sorry, that's all. Oh. So's the steak and kidney, I'm afraid. I can do you a very nice Welsh rabbit.
Tell me now, what are these?
Yeah. Oh, horrid, nasty little thing. Hot weather brings them out.
Well, once an archaeologist has dated his object, then he must define its purpose. Clovis shave, now what do you make of this?
Yes, well, it's obviously a thumb screw, isn't it? You see, you fit it over the thumb like that, and you twist it, and the more you twist it, the more excruciating the pain.
Yes. Could you give us the date?
No, I'm afraid not, no.
On job! Perhaps this will refresh your memory. That is the same, the date.
I don't know it! You're lying! You're hiding something! The date isn't the same!
What job?
I swear I don't know it! I swear!
That's enough, odd job. We shall have to try the laser beam.
No, please, not the laser beam. I'm just beginning to enjoy this. And a T-shaped hieroglyph. Now, what does that say?
It says, Pharaoh, what's a Greek urn? Nefertiti, about 30 goats a week. You silly old moo.
Good heavens, it's even older than we thought. Incredible.
Archaeologists often find their evidence in folk song and story. Today, Let's Dig It looks at one of our own legendary folk songs.
The grand old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill. And he marched them down the hill. And when they were up, they were up. And when they were down, they were down.
But when they were only halfway up, they were neither up nor down.
Thank you, Frida Appleyard. Thank you, Marcia Armstrangler. Marcia Armstrangler is a member of the National Theatre Company and the Lyme Regis branch of the Egyptian Air Force. Now, to discuss the Grand Old Duke of York, an expert on military matters, General I.K. Maudsley. General, grand he was, old he may have been, Duke he might have been, but York, certainly not. East Croydon, where there is an inscription, I believe, with the Anglo-Arabic word da'id, meaning man, or as I and other experts believe, dahid, meaning cloven hoofed. So in fact, the song should read, the Grand Old Duke of East Croydon, he had 10,000 cows. And I think you will agree that at 1,000 paces, a cow looks very like a soldier. With horns.
Let's get one thing straight, shall we? This was a military triumph for old Yorkie. He had drilled his men perfectly into mindless idiots. If he wanted them at the top of the hill, he'd march them up there. If he wanted them down, he'd march them down. Textbook tactics, up, down, Yorkie's yo-yos, they were called. I always remember what my old brain surgeon used to tell me. Where there's a gap in a hedge, there will always be a picnic. And there was. Yorkie's men, when they were up, and up, by God, they were that day. It was a massacre. And they didn't need any of your bloody cows to help them either.
Thank you very much, General.
Clever show.
Archaeology is rather like one great big jigsaw puzzle. And tonight, together, we've had a look at some of the pieces. But what of that elusive piece, man? A great breakthrough in the study of man was made in 1859 when Charles Darwin rose to address the Royal Society and made the historic statement which finally established our relationship with the apes. And finally, let us look at archaeology where our facts can be sure, underground, on site. Every schoolboy knows the story of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. But did they really exist? And if they did, where was Camelot? Here at Spilsbury, archaeologists are hoping to come up with the answer at any moment.
Hello.
Now, tell me, what exactly was the discovery that made you pinpoint this as the site of Camelot?
This.
A sheep's jawbone?
Got it in one. It is a sheep's jawbone.
Oh. Yes. What exactly is this to do with Camelot?
Well, now, this is a bit of a whodunit. We sent this off to our laboratories, and they ran a special test on it.
What sort of a special test?
They counted the teeth. Now, here's the amazing thing. How many Knights of the Round Table were there?
12?
12. And how many teeth do you think they found on the jawbone?
12?
I think you'll agree that's just too much of a coincidence.
But some experts say there were 13 knights.
Oh, that's silly. Never heard of a sheep with 13 teeth. Be unlucky. Perhaps you'd like to see an artist's impression of what Camelot really looked like.
Yes, indeed I would.
Oh, would you? I have one right here.
Ah, yes. Well, now, how can you tell it looked exactly like this?
Well, now, this is what we archaeologists call instinct. What you laymen would probably call a blind guess.
Well, this is fascinating, Sir Bernard, but tell me, what do you hope to get out of all this eventually?
A huge grant from the BBC.
Hello. Well, that's quite enough archaeology. So now, here's something of special interest for women. Hello again. And this is me, Aminta Broaden. And that was a special request sent in by me. And thank you for all the other lovely letters you've been sending in. I'd like to read out this one, which says, Dear Aminta, my husband has taken a sudden and suspicious interest in gardening. He's growing a strange plant in our window box, which he says is cabbage, but which looks to me more like opium. What shall I do? Yours, Worried. Well, Worried, try some of it. Then, if you're still worried, it's cabbage. And now, our guest speaker, Babs Lamore, I'm sure needs no introduction. Apparently she does need an introduction. So here she is, Babs Lamore. And what are you going to talk about? Hello! Hello. What are you going to talk about?
How to make your own odds and ends for a few pence out of your own odds and ends.
Oh. For instance?
For instance, how to make a thimble out of an old cotton reel. 1, get an old cotton reel. 2, make it into a thimble.
Babs, where do you get a cotton reel?
Oh, obtainable for a few pence from your local ironmonger.
But then how do you make it into a thimble?
Oh, and this Hardesty Brothers and Company Limited Bulldog Carpenter's Lathe.
But isn't that rather expensive?
Obtainable for a few pence from your local greengrocer.
I see.
Say, Tom, I've already made one. And now you plate it with silver.
With silver, but
Yes, silver plated from the non-such electro-laminate decoplator.
obtainable for a few from your
Oh,
local...
no. Cost 3,000 quid a thing like that. You couldn't get that. That's stealing.
But is this something that the average housewife can afford?
I'm average. I'm an average housewife. I brought up 37 children.
I'm sure you...
I fought in the last war. I fought in the war. And I lost.
Fascinating.
You take your hands off me, young man. I'm a report
Coming to the studio.
I'm not free and I can dance, Nancy.
Coming to the studio. And that's all from Woman's Corner from me, Mrs. Sproul, and from our guest speaker, Babs Lamore.
Obtainable for a few pence from your local fish shop. Oh, look! A 94!
Australia, land of sunshine and kangaroos. Now we're going to show you a little film about Australia. As a matter of fact, we made it ourselves. Unfortunately, we weren't actually able to afford the fare to Australia. However, one way or another, we managed to make a perfectly good film about Australia without actually having to go there. Thank God. Anyway, here it is. The film.
Brian and I had often talked of sailing to Australia,
Yes, we certainly have.
and now the great day had actually come.
Yes, it certainly has.
And here we were, straining over the side of the ship to get our first glimpse of Australia.
Look, Deirdre. There it is.
And sure enough, there it was. We could hardly contain ourselves.
Yes, we certainly hardly could.
Once ashore, we determined to see everything, but we did not know where to begin.
Let's go to Sydney.
Off And what a friendly bunch these Aussies are.
You know, Deirdre, the town of Sydney is the capital of Australia.
No, it isn't. On our journey, we stopped off at the desert. There, we made our first acquaintance with the famous kangaroos. Oh, look! There's a koala bear.
Look, Deirdre, there are some sheep.
And here we are in the famous Australian bush. Before long, we reached Sydney. And what a welcome they gave us.
Look, Deirdre, a huge banner across the main street. Welcome to Sydney.
Oh, look, Broaden. The famous Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Oh, look, Deirdre, the famous Flying Doctor.
And as the day drew to a close, we sat gazing out at the breathtaking spectacle of the famous Great Barrier Reef. At night,
Well, Deirdre, I certainly enjoyed our trip down under.
yes, and it's over all too soon for
Yes, it's
me. Well, it's goodbye, Australia. Next week, it's hello, Tibet.
What a stupid place to put a dressing room.
Oh, no. Ridiculous. Oh. Ah, hello. Hello. How are you getting on so far? What are you supposed to be?
I'm a plainclothes policeman, in disguise.
You're in the wrong costume.
Well, so are you.
What? Oh. Well, since we do seem to be dressed up as policemen a bit,
Tiny bit, yes.
we'd better take a look at modern police methods. And here to tell us all about it is Bill Oddie.
Take it away, Bill.
We're not all James Bonds in the force, you know. Oh, dear me, no, no. We policemen are only human. But every now and again, something does come along what brings a little romance into our lives. And this is how it happened to me. Oh, when a policeman's feeling bored, he just loves to sit and play at making faces with identity. Oh, well, I made a little face up the other day, and now she stole my heart away. Oh, my identity girl. My identity girl. I wish that she could be my pal. Kid gal. Oh, I love her toothy lips and her crinkly hair, her tiny little eyes and her funny stare. She's got a scar upon her cheek that I'd love to kiss. Oh, nobody can look like this. Oh, my identity kid gal. My identity kid gal. I wish that she could be my pal. Kid gal. Well, if anybody sees her down 999, then I will apprehend her and make her mine. But just like all the other faces on my list, I don't suppose that she'll exist. Oh, my identity kid girl. My identity kid girl. I wish that she could be my pal. Identity kid girl. Oh, my
Modern science and technology have enriched the lives of us all. However, let's just remind ourselves of how the basic principles of science are being turned to our advantage. Dr. Findish.
Heat. Let us consider the application of this simple physical phenomenon in our everyday lives. Now, I have here a Bunsen burner on the pan of water. I place the water on the pan so. This makes the water hot. Hot. And when it is hot, we can use it for all sorts of things, for making tea, for washing up, and for hurting people. Possibilities are endless. Now, you all got your pencil and paper ready. Is your pencil nice and sharp? Good. Keep it beside you at all times, and remember, go for the eyes. Now listen carefully. Here, at the British Institute of Applied Science and Technology and not Germ Warfare, we are building hundreds of enormous defensive saucepans. So, at a moment's notice, we can flood the whole of the southeast coast with boiling tea. But what do you say if the attack should come from the air? That is where the giant toasters come in.
Thank you, Dr. Findish. Yes, the incredible advance in science. Consider the field of plastics alone. Now, you may find this hard to believe, but this suit I'm wearing is made entirely of plastic. So is the shirt, and so is the tie. In fact, every single thing about me is made of plastic.
Machines have revolutionized our industries. However, there are still some of us who feel that automation cannot completely replace the human element.
Jones is here to see you, sir.
Send him in, will you? You realize why I've sent for you, don't you, Jones? Yes, I thought you would. Let's not beat about the bush. It's your job to keep the customers' accounts up to date, right? Right. Now, I realize there are great temptations in your position, but you must resist the urge to play practical jokes on the customers. Yes, I know they like the human touch, but after all, we're very lucky to have Mr. Gulbenkian's account. And it gave him a nasty shock when you said he was 18 and 4 in the red. And sending in the bailiffs was inexcusable. I know, but you've done it before. I know you always pay back the money when you make a financial error, but goodness knows, you can afford it with all those wins on the premium bonds you have. I don't want to hear about your cousin Ernie from Lytham. That's nothing to do with it. Which brings me to your expense account. That's no excuse. I can certainly accept your claims for machine oil and insulating tape, but I am not going to foot your bills at the Bunny Club. What on earth do you do there? Good God! Well, that's typical, isn't it? You machines are all the same. And you keep out of this. Brings me at long last to the office party. What you said to the cleaning lady was unforgivable. And as for your behavior with that electric typewriter in the corner, the mind boggles. Oh, spare me the sordid details. And then there's poor Miss Pimby. When a young lady is innocently bending over a record player, she doesn't expect you to come trundling up behind her and whirl your... A likely story. You realize, of course, she may never play the cello again. I should think you are. Well, Jones, you've got to buck your ideas up. I'm going to give you one more chance. And remember, you wouldn't be getting that if you weren't the boss's son.
For better or for worse, scientific progress is always with us. But for every evil it produces, it always produces some good. For the boredom of the traffic jam, for example, it gives us the car radio.
Honor your partners, everyone. Back to where we started. Cross your partners, 2 by 2, back again, and here we go. Do-si-do around the floor. Back again and ask for more. Circle left, you're doing fine. Back again and into line. Ladies forward, there you go. Not too fast and not too slow. Promenade, 1 by 1. Everybody's having fun.
Well, that's it for this week. But now it's quiz time, where you have a chance to test your wits.
So if your wits are ready to be tested, then off we jolly well go. And this week's quiz is entitled, So You Think You Know About Your Kitchen. And here is the first question.
How can you tell when your gas cooker is running off North Sea gas? And the second question, when your washing machine has broken down, do you send for Mr. Pym, the plumber, Mr. Evans, the electrician, or Mr. Reeves from the bakers?
And lastly, here's a problem for the men. Hello, men. Now, when you're fixing a plug, is the live wire the black one, the green one, or the
That was a clue. Well, we do apologize for this slight technical hitch. As I say, that's all for this week, but next week, why not join me and, Raquel Welch. Good night.
Thank you.